Welcome back to Varnum's Auto, everybody. I haven't done videos in a while on account of been having some family situations. I had a death on my girlfriend's mama. My girlfriend said her mama passed away on Christmas Eve, and that was like an unexpected thing, but yeah, she had bad health. God rest her soul. And like 3 days after the mama's death, we get a phone call that we need to come and pick her daughter up with some other complications that pretty much nobody else's business with that. But we got full custody over my girlfriend's daughter and everything. So now gonna be a little bit of difference in changing from here on out. Hopefully I'll be able to put a little bit more videos out from here. Wanted to do this video on this 93 Ford Ranger. And I almost want to swear it down.
One more thing, I ain't mean to mess you up, man. With that compressor, I don't know exactly what is.
I do want to swear it down. I could be wrong, because I am not a particular Ford man. But I do want to swear it down that it is a 2.3, 2.4, something like that. Hold that thought. I'm going to look it up. Because I want to put my information out there correctly. It is a 2.3 4-cylinder is what this one is. So anybody out there with a 93 Ford Ranger 2.3, this is pretty much how you would install a timing belt, the tensioner for the timing belt, the whole works, and putting everything back together, because I was not the one that took it apart to get to the timing belt. The guy that owns it, I can't really pronounce his name correctly because of my slang, I guess. It just don't sound right when I say his name. But he is a McLean. That is Kenny McLean's grandson. So we got the timing belt pretty much installed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to detension the pulley, the timing belt tensioner is what I'm getting at. Just trying to find out. I'm going to remove the belt so I can detension the timing belt tensioner and get it loosened. When I worked on it last week, for some reason I thought I had done loosened it, but apparently I didn't. Come on, knock it, Daddy. Let me get me a wrench out. Alright, we got that loose. We're going to loosen the spring up. Try to show y'all where I'm at. Get it there. Don't know if y'all can see, but this dude right here, that's where the spring tensioning is. It's all attached with that pulley right there. This pulley here, that's the belt tensioner for the timing belt. Got that nut there loose. We're going to loosen this up a little bit, and then we're going to get right to it. Okay. So, all right. I don't know how much that worked on for us. Well, I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to go ahead and get the tensioner out of my face. The bolt where the spring is, the tensioning, the pulley at the timing belt, that's a 6, that is a 17. Where I'm at right now, that is a 1/2 inch. Okay. For those of y'all, I know it's late on me saying this, but like I said, I've had some big issues going on. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. And I hope everybody has a happy new year. Because this video here is actually December 31st. This is the last video that I'm going to be making here on 2023. All right. Now when we install this timing belt, but we're going to make sure that when we get it on the crank, make sure all our teeth on the belt matches up perfect with the teeth on the crank, the oil pump, and the crank. I'm at the timing, the cam sprockets. All right. So that's the main thing there, guys, is make sure all of it stays in place, that your gears don't move when you're installing the belt. And everything will be all right. All right. All right. Everything will be all right. All right. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to take that back off. I don't like how the teeth are lining up on this. Because when you do this, fellas, you got to make sure it's done correctly. Because once you start putting the tensioning back on the timing belt, and anything skips, jumps, whatever, then your timing's off. And we don't need that. No, sir, we don't need that at all. I dropped the bolt. Just make sure I didn't drop two. I believe it was just one. Anyways, we got that. We retrieved that bolt. I got the other one. So I'm good. It's kind of hard to see. If y'all can see where I'm at with all of this. So y'all bear with me because I'm trying to make sure that y'all can see everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to be way down here where my right hand's at, making sure that everything's lined up on the crank. And we're going to move upwards this way to the oil drive. Now it looks like everything is squared away from the bottom crank pulley to the old drive. And now, you can see how everything matches up on the cam. That looks like it's going to be done beautifully. And I love how everything's starting to route. Move y'all up. That right there is the cam. Right there. So that's going to be good. And now we can start installing the pulley, the tensioner for the timing belt. Alright. Slide that wheel behind the belt on the smooth side. Now I don't want to tighten the tensioner up, the bolt that I'm screwing in right now, too awfully tight. We want it to have some kind of little squiggly room. Okay. Now we take our pry bar and we'll take it and just think. Alright guys, sorry about the shaking in the camera. But I just literally got done tightening up the tensioner. Everything I'm doing is not wanting to cooperate with me, with the camera that is. But I got to back y'all off so you can see. Now we got it all in time. Alright. I had to do another adjusting with it. So now I hope when I tighten the timing tensioner up, nothing moves. When I done it the first time, I realized that the cam sprocket moved and the crank had moved. All right. All right. I'm gonna do this one more time because it keeps moving on me. So what I'm gonna do, instead of putting it on dead on, I'm gonna take the cam, being how when I tighten it up with the tensioner, the cam mark wants to move this away on the sprocket. So we're gonna put it about right there. And same thing on the crank side. The crank side is advanced. So we're gonna re-loosen the tensioning on the pulley. All right, now we got that done. Now we're gonna wiggle the rest of it off on the cam sprocket. And like I said, we're gonna back it up a tooth. And now we're gonna slide it back on. All right. And we're gonna put the crank bolt back on. And we're gonna send it home some with the impact so we can tighten it up, so we can use the pull handle to back it up a tooth just like we did on the cam. So when we install the tension back on the timing belt tensioner, when it moves, it's going to be dead right on timing. That's all it needs. So now we're going to come down here, we're going to pull the belt off the crank and the oil drive sprocket. All right, switch sockets out on the pull handle. And we're going to back it up to about right there. All right. Now we can reinstall. I'm gonna go down below. All right. Now let's see what happens when we add tension back on the tensioner for the belt, timing belt. Cause so far right now everything looks pretty good. That daggone freaking idiot. And that right there looks like it can be good to run home with. Now I feel a whole lot better. Oh Jesus. That busted my knuckles. Good God, son. Oh Jesus. Well, I've always been told 9 times out of 10 when you're working on a vehicle and you do stuff like that, if you ain't got it right, if you ain't busting your knuckles or getting cut or something, you ain't doing it right. So I guess I got it right this time. So therefore, we're gonna send this baby home. I'm bleeding pretty good, y'all. Oh yeah. It never fails with Josh. On the Barnums all day. Alright. Well, I'm dripping blood. So I took a piece of paper towel and a zip tie and zipped her up. Alright, up next, this is the crankshaft position sensor bracket. We are fixing to install that. Then how we got the timing belt fully installed with tensioning on the belt. The pulleys lined up just right, thank God. So now we're going to install the crankshaft sensor, the bracket anyways, and then we're going to install the sensor. Alright, so this one here is an 8mm and the other one is a 10mm. And there is a dowel pin hole right there. And all we do is line it all up just like so. Once you get it in place, you'll know because it won't move side to side. Okay? Well, it will fall out. That's if you don't hurry up and put a bolt in it when the cam sensor wants to fall down. So I'm going to crawl up under the truck like I am now. I'm going to reinstall this down below. Don't want to tighten it awfully too tight because we got to put the 10mm bolt in. Because we did not know if we was going to have to shift it left or right. So the way it feels right now, it feels like we're getting their 10mm bolt tightening up in there all by hand. Certain. I hope everybody knows that when you do stuff like that, you always want to hand tight before you do any other tightening. So once you drop your extension in your socket, pick it back up, and get your wrench, your ratchet hooked back to it, and then you can tighten it down. And you do not want to over tighten because you are Now, I do believe what we are screwing into is aluminum. Now I'm trying to find a small bolt, the 8mm bolt, so we can tighten it down some. There we go. I don't know. I might be able to see that. I'm trying to let y'all see what we got going on here. Got that tight. Got the washer back on now, so it can keep the timing belt into place. Sorry about y'all's angle. Alright, now we are ready to install the crankshaft sensor back into place. And these are the teeny tiny little bolts for it, and they are the size of 5.5 socket. Sorry you guys, not doing videos in a while. I forgot how to film. Now we got our socket on there. Now we're tightening it down. We started both of these little bolts by hand. Now we're ready to use the ratchet. Tighten it down, center on home. Don't want to over tighten these because the cam bracket or the camshaft sensor bracket is aluminum and the sensor is plastic. Just want it nice and snugged in case there happens to be some kind of little vibration, they don't back out. Alright, we got that did. Now we can move on and start installing the rest of the truck.